You're Near the Wild with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right, hey, welcome to another episode of Near the Wild, where we really are near the wild in 3 different states. I'm Mat Becker.
I'm John Norris.
And I'm Greg Chaille. It's an international podcast.
You know, I'm still in Anchorage, and Matt is still in Costa Rica. Greg, we have no idea where you are.
This week, I am in Fullerton, California, home of the electric guitar.
Beautiful Fullerton.
Beautiful Fullerton. I think they're broke, though.
Are they? How's the spaghetti factory? That's my favorite place in all of Fullerton.
I just ate there last night, John.
Wonderful.
Did you know Mizithra cheese doesn't melt?
Is it the same as feta? Is it not feta?
No, it's like a Parmesan, and it's really a big thing for them. But it's kind of like I can see through the smoke screen they're throwing. They're trying to make it look like this is like you got to come here. And they've all got little pins on that say Mizithra stops here or whatever. I figured it out last night. I think Mizithra to spaghetti is what Corinthian leather is to the interior of a vehicle. It's just someone came up with something that sounds like international or very exclusive.
It sounds like added value.
Yes, I mean, sure. My mom, she falls for it, but my mom has this thing where she has a problem like swallowing food sometimes. So she asked our waitress to be sure and put the Mizithra cheese on and then microwave it. I don't even care if it's microwaved. Just you have to do that because otherwise I will choke. Which happened once. She was foaming at the mouth and everything, and it was a scene. So but she just keeps going back. You can't quit this Mizithra. Listen,
so good.
If she's asked in the beginning and says, "Look, just ask your manager. She knows me. We'll do this dance with the manager or with you. But either way, the only way I'm going to choke this stuff down is if it goes in the microwave." Well, of course, they had a food runner who brought the food out who was not aware of the Mizithra crisis. When we asked her to take it back and put it in the microwave, she gave us like 0 to 60 snarky. Well, we just have to make a new one. Once the plate touches the table, we can't take it back in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck is this? First of all, this was a request.
I trusted you up until this point.
Yeah, and it's like, you're a food runner. You should just go get the other gal. This will all get smoothed over in a second. And she just gave this fucking look like, all right, I'm going back there. And I'm going to do what you say. And it's like, yeah, you are. But it was, and then my mom, she just turned 80. She's not 2 steps away. And she's going like, wow, what was that all about? What's wrong with her? And it didn't stop. It was very interesting that you said spaghetti factory, because I didn't even think about that as a topic. But here it is.
Oh, it's the only topic I ever think about because I love the spaghetti factory. I love to sit in the caboose. I love the funky chairs.
Yeah.
The lasagna, the spumoni afterwards.
The spumoni, yes.
Olive Garden's in trouble.
I don't think Olive Garden's ever had a chance. The spaghetti factory, if you'll indulge me one more moment, is located in Fullerton, California. It's actually in the original train depot. You get a free little dish of spumoni with every dinner. I mean, come on. There's a ton of profit to be made in the spaghetti game. It's boiling water, right? So they give you a free...
Yeah, if you can compete with the college kids, make it in their dorm.
Exactly. If you're giving away a free dish of spumoni, which is great, another added value that doesn't cost them really anything, they're scooping them 20 at a time, and they're in the window. And so when it gets there to the table, I know. You don't have one person to sit on the ice cream station all night and just keep plugging out hard scoops of ice cream. But when I get it and it's almost like yogurt, nah, it's not melted yet, but it's too soft. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe if they didn't have to hover over the microwave the whole night, so people aren't choking on Mizithra, I think it would be easier.
Apparently the ice cream melts, but the cheese doesn't.
Becker, you got any great pasta restaurants in Costa Rica?
No, but Becky made some amazing pasta the other night, because what we found this year, and this is amazing, is they now have gluten-free corn-based spaghetti and other pastas that is all available down here. Things I can't find in Anchorage. Hard to believe.
You know what's hard to believe is that in an area like that where there's a lot of, let's say, close to and below the poverty line, that people are picky about gluten.
Well, you don't want to be poor and sluggish.
That's true.
There aren't a lot of public toilets here, so you really want to make sure if you're gluten-free, you want to make sure you're free of gluten.
So is that what you guys do? You mainly cook out of the house?
You know Becky. Becky's an amazing cook. So
Yeah.
eating out is like always a kind of a disappointment because we go somewhere and we go, yes, okay.
I did have a gluten-free experience the other night, Becker. A baked gluten-free chocolate chip cookie with a scoop of ice cream on it. As you can tell.
Was it sugar-free?
It was not sugar-free. That was the thing. Because since I've been juicing, which, by the way, has gone out the fucking window while I'm down here visiting my mom for her birthday. Check this out. Here's fucking Juice Boy, right? We go to this place. We order all appetizers. Crispy pig ears, fried chicken skin, fried vinegar chips, a pickle platter, and blue crab tater tots for Tracy and I. We ordered from the guy, and not once did the waiter say, hey, hold up there. That's a lot of food. He just fucking brought these mountains. The chicken skin thing is a vertical pile of chicken skin, as is the crispy pig ears. This could have fed 7 or 8 people, and this was for Tracy and I to eat.
So just different levels of fried and pickled appetizers.
Yeah.
For how long had you been juicing before this?
4 weeks.
So you went from carrots to the skin. When do you think you'll get to the middle of the animal?
I just bypassed it altogether. It's what we feed them and then what we skin off of them to throw away. That's the only thing I'm eating. That's the new diet.
Eating on the fringes.
The shit on the floor. Jesus.
And you obviously were starving because you've been drinking nothing but juice for 4 weeks.
No. It's really good. I like it. The juice, basically, it's a meal replacement, 1 or 2. It's not like doing some weird Atkins diet or something like that. It's just in the morning, you just drink a huge thing of kale, spinach, chia seeds. I know it sounds delicious. Cucumber. I mean, you choke it down, but you're full, But the greasy pig ears, that's a different kind of full. And
that's a different kind of, I'll be right back.
Yeah, it was delicious. I got to tell you that. Who had to convince anyone that fried chicken skin, wouldn't be a fucking fantastic dish?
I've said that forever.
But it is. It's great.
No, it's fantastic.
It's fucking nothing but fat, and it just rolls right through you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey skin too. Turkey skin's amazing.
It's all good.
Because it'll take on any flavor you want.
Well, Becker, you mentioned it 2 podcasts ago about opening a place that just sold chicken skin. Well, I got to tell you, the bar Hopscotch, they're the first place, and I know there's another place down in right down in downtown LA that has called the Gorbles that also features the chicken skin BLTs.
I know when Stephanie and I were in Vegas, we ate at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, and we got it was like chicken skin with carrot sticks and like a buffalo wing sauce. It was amazing.
When people order healthy chicken, they go, "Oh, I want the skinless, boneless breast chicken." They take that skin off and then they sell it as a reseller. They sell it to somebody else who sells now just skin, and they're making money on both ends. It's the same thing to do with when they decaffeinate coffee. They actually separate the caffeine out of it, and then they resell the caffeine to every Red Bull or any other manufacturer. So you pay more for decaf coffee, and meanwhile they're selling off the rest of it to somebody else.
That makes sense. Good. It's like
you're a rube.
But we're use all the parts. It's Dole pineapple on the island of Oahu. They used to just take all the pulp and all the juice from the pineapple manufacturing that was going on in there in the 60s. And they had a pipeline that went out into the ocean, and they just flushed it all out there until someone, I don't know why they wouldn't figure it out the first day of production. Someone scooped up a cup of that and said, "Hey, this tastes pretty good, just like this. Why don't we sell it to them?" And then they shut down the pipeline and started selling out all the pineapple juice.
Sounds like Alaskan oil.
Delicious garbage.
Yeah.
They have a thing down here called mixed fruit, and it's in the stores. It's a box, and it's exactly what you said. It's all the fruit processing from the socialist government that runs everything. And it's called mixed fruit. And when you get it at first, when you try it, you're like, is that like the top of a pineapple in this? And they just grind it all up. But it's the best fruit juice you've ever had in your life.
So they're using the toppers of of fruits. And,
They're using everything. Guava, mangoes. They just take the end cuts from when they're making the real juice and they throw it all in a hopper. And they probably use that Vitamixture thing you got.
Yeah.
And then they just...
Tarantulas, monkeys, whatever gets in
Yeah.
there.
Next thing you know, you're going, this is incredible. With vodka, it's amazing. But the thing is, if it isn't good, I don't care what's in it. I can't read Spanish.
Yeah, really. Well, that's.
I mean, it starts out as mixed fruit, and then the rest is all label.
Well, it sounds like you're eating good, Becker.
No, we're doing great. I mean, it is the time of year when I come down, and we try not to eat a lot, but every time we come down here, Becky goes, hey, you want to have spaghetti? And I go, no, it's 80 degrees outside. So she makes spaghetti anyway, because we found these corn noodles, so I can eat those. And it's the most amazing spaghetti ever. I mean, it was phenomenal. And so in the middle of the night, I got up and I ate the rest of it. Oh, that was the other thing we were talking about was about sugar. Like you find the gluten-free cookie,
Yeah.
but it's not sugar-free. Yeah, well, the other night I found out that marijuana brownies with sugar in them is not good combo for me.
Not a good combo for you.
No, it didn't work at all.
Oh,
It
shit.
put me in a coma. I put me in a wide awake coma sitting in a deck chair by a pool at a party with about 40 people that I didn't know.
Oh, wow. Retreat within yourself.
Oh, yeah. That was
Ay,
pretty
ay, ay.
good. And they were like, you're going to do magic after the guy plays guitar, right? I go, absolutely. You're going to try to make it to the car, go in and out of coherency while Becky drives home. That I did.
You did. You did magic. You disappeared.
It was a great brownie, though. I said, next time I'm doing it at home.
Yeah, I don't know what the best recipe is. Some I've had where you don't taste anything. There's some little Jolly Rancher candies,
Yeah, I just heard of this.
but you don't know how potent it is. As soon as I twisted open the thing, because one person in our group wanted one. As soon as I opened the twisty on the thing, it was strong. Someone standing across the room was like, "What is that?" Because it could smell weed immediately.
Yeah,
Right, and that's the
I
thing.
recently had a gummy bear that was full of THC oil, and it was the same thing. Like as soon as it comes out of the wrapper, it's like you're in a grow room.
Exactly.
I recently had a pixie stick full of cocaine. It's cool though, because it's a brilliant idea. Because you put it in a pixie stick, it comes with a straw, so it's a brilliant concept.
Kids love it.
Hey, it's not for kids. I'm tired of people doing that. Well, what about the children? Fuck the children. Children aren't paying for shit anymore. Unless your kids making shit like they do in China, shut the fuck up and enjoy your free lunch.
People are always giving drugs to kids. Who are these kids? Are they in bands? Why are they
Yeah,
getting all the free
I
drugs?
never got free drugs when I was a kid. I got fucking expensive drugs that were shitty.
Or weak, right?
Right. No, that was it. They fucking stomped on everything. They were like, "Here, it's oregano. Have a good time."
There was not only those that little packet of Jolly Ranchers, but there was a huge bud backstage too. And I'm like, this isn't legal here, is it? Like in San Diego County? Maybe I shouldn't say that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like there's all this shit back there, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't know if maybe one of the comics brought it, or I don't know. It was just kind of odd because I thought it was just 2 states that it was legal, right? Denver.
Right. Well, the thing is, it's that's where we're in a gray area. Well, how do you sentence somebody when you go, if I was in Colorado, would you be doing this? And they go, well, you're not in Colorado. And you go, this is a lot like when a cop gives you a ticket because my brother's a lawyer. Well, he's not here, is he? Well, you're a dick.
Well, in California, you just need the medical card, right?
Yeah, I didn't have one.
You didn't have your medical card on
no,
you, Greg?
No, I still don't.
You know, do you realize when you get a medical marijuana card, you can no longer buy a gun?
Really?
No, that's a fact.
Well, I mean, you just go to a gun show and they don't ask any questions.
Yeah, I guess it just depends. You can't buy one at Walmart. But,
What about the kids? What about the kids?
They have their own gun shows.
and they're
Yeah, I see them every week on the news.
showing one at a time.
Hey, how about the university shootings? Do you feel like these kids were late bloomers? I mean, if you're shooting up your school, hey, he made it into Stanford, barely.
Slight pause whilst I adjust my accoutrements.
John, there was
Yeah.
an article in the Anchorage News about some kid at Home Depot.
Oh, there's this kid. He's like 19 years old. He's the kid who like pushes the carts around the Home Depot parking lot.
Like collects
And
the
now-
carts and then brings them back to the front.
Yeah.
Barely. I've been there.
So obviously it's not a very demanding job, but he is he's now an internet celebrity because he caught a baby that fell out of a cart.
Like that he was pushing?
No,
No, one of the ones he hadn't picked up.
there's a video of it, and that's why he's famous, because it just got shared everywhere. He's just standing there doing nothing, probably about to get fired, and then the baby like just topples over, and he does a nice catch.
So it's like one of those carts that like their 2 feet come out facing the person pushing the cart, and they just kind of bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but it looked like just some parents like put a car seat or something and like didn't have the baby strapped in, just like had it kind of like hanging out on top of the cart.
Oh, so they added their car seat on top of the air
Yeah.
conditioning unit, balancing it as they move
Yeah, on top of like 4 buckets stacked up.
They modded the cart.
Yeah.
Were they
and
Home Depot buckets?
Of course, product placement. So now he has been nominated for the Angel Award, which is given to people who commit acts of heroism within a Home Depot store.
Oh, just within a Home Depot store.
So they have so many causes for acts of heroism that they have an award that they give people at Home Depot.
Well, they do stack.
Wow, it's weird. It's weird they don't have one for somebody who could actually help me. I go, I can't find a claw hammer. He goes, well, look over here. I looked there. That's why I'm asking you, you retard.
That's about to just stand there. They'll stand right there next to you and just look at the entire aisle.
They
Like,
go
I
back to where
wish I
you
would've
already
thought of
looked.
that.
And they're like, oh, well, I guess shower curtain rings aren't in shower curtains. I go, yeah, I get it. Where are they? I don't know. I could call my manager. No, you go save a baby in the parking lot. Let me get your manager. Jeez. Does he not know about the dividend? That baby cracks his melon open. The dividend gets bigger. Unbelievable. There's an award for that too.
I guess that's good, right? Come on.
He's going places.
Yeah. Does he get any money or anything?
It doesn't say anything about money in the story.
I mean, sometimes that's how they pepper it. It's like it's a feel-good story, and then they throw the cash in, so it's like it's kind of an incentive for everyone to.
Sure,
Yeah.
to catch babies when they see them falling.
Well, that one guy who found the cabbie who found a couple $100,000 in the back of his cab, and he turned it in, and
That was all bullshit.
really,
That was complete. Well, no, he found the money. You're right.
Yeah.
It was a well-known Vegas poker player. There also, you remember that, I think we already covered this. There's a camera in every goddamn cab in Las Vegas. He was on camera receiving the money. He drove around for 30 minutes before he goes, oh, look, I thought it was chocolates. And he's a foreign fucking probably illegal anyway. And he pulls it out and he goes, oh, we better turn this in now. Yeah, because you're on camera taking it, you prick. He wasn't a hero. He realized he was trapped.
he looked in the bag, and for 30 minutes, he knew what it was for 30
No.
minutes.
No, 30 minutes later, he supposedly looked in it. He knew right away it was cash. He shoved it under his seat. Then he realized he's on camera receiving it from a bellhop from the Bellagio.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go, oh. And then he turns it in like he's a good guy. You know, the rule in Las Vegas is they turn anything found in the back of a cab, they call it in immediately. He was 45 minutes, I think it was off of calling it in immediately. Once he realized I'm on camera taking it, I'm going to get fired. There's no way this is worth it. I'll go to jail in whatever country I'm from.
Well, there it is. The rest of the story.
No, but that's the problem we live in now. I mean, if you want to kill somebody, kill them, but you better kill them in Costa Rica where there's no fucking cameras, because you kill them anywhere else. Look, we got the guy who crashed in the car from the fucking Fast Lane movie or whatever the fuck it was.
Paul Walker.
Anyway,
Fast and Furious.
Yeah. People's home security cameras have the crash. There were 2 abductions they got. They have home security cameras that show them being abducted. They have, you're on camera everywhere you go now. If you're going to commit a crime, I'm just telling you, unless you're playing with yourself on a city bus, I would look out.
Well, that's not
Wait, you can play with yourself on a city bus still?
Yeah, it turns out masturbating is good for your prostate.
Oh, well, nothing to worry about over here then.
It turns out I'm not the sicko anymore. I'm the health nut. Next thing you know, I'll be juice in my spaghetti.
Will it blend?
Anyone got anything on the Grammys last night? Did anyone watch it?
Oh my God, could you believe it? That actual musicians, who was it? The Foo Fighters, and they had everybody together. Who was it? The band they put from Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, everybody. They cut them short so they could give out an award to Daft Punk, who apparently is from France and knows how to use a computer. The Loop-de-Loops win Album of the Year. So music is dead. Bart, sell your guitars. Tracy, get a real job.
One of the first awards was for Dave Grohl and Sir Paul McCartney for a single that they did at the end of the Sound City documentary, which I watched last week. I was telling you guys about. And it was awesome because Dave Grohl's acceptance speech was, I called Paul and said, come over, we'll jam. And they wrote it in 2 hours. And he goes, that's what rock is. And I'm like, right on. You know, after the beginning of the Grammys with that Jay-Z and his wife and watching that whole thing go down, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be one like soundtrack sequence thing after another. And then Dave Grohl and Sir Paul win. I'm like, all right on track. Here we go. Then it's Pharrell and the two robots and all that shit. I mean, it just piled up, and I'm like, what the fuck? The music died again. Again.
Yeah, no, it did. It wasn't a plane crash this time.
Oh, it was a plane crash. I stopped watching it, but I listened to the news this morning where Trent Reznor tweeted basically to CBS, a night not to be missed.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah, it was great. I mean, try and get him on an award show again now.
No, I mean, I've screamed this forever. You've got to get music back, and you got to get rid of this. Where do we get this prison culture mentality? Baggy pants and prison culture is not really our future. Well, maybe it is. Maybe we're all going to get locked up. You might want to watch Oz again, just so you know what you're doing. But as far as music goes, good luck. I swear to God that who was the kid? Bojangles. If Bojangles alive today, he'd have to dance to techno music.
Bojangles reference.
I missed the whole thing. I don't know. I guess I'm just confused about the Grammys because I don't like really know two people who have the same taste in music, so I don't understand a whole award show where they give out awards for like the best album.
To be honest, the Grammys is not what killed Whitney Houston. It was the 8 Ball that killed Whitney Houston.
There is something that I thought was really interesting this morning. I was just poking around on some news feeds this morning. A lot of the clips of Ringo and Paul McCartney playing a song called Queenie something. It was a pop song that Paul McCartney came out with. Ringo's playing on stage with him, and apparently they're pulling all the clips off of YouTube because it's obvious that Ringo, who is front and center on the drums, he's not in the mix. It's clear that there's another guy, and then there's a guy off in the shadows because basically there's a hi-hat snare, you know, whatever he's doing, and then you're watching him, and then you hear a round off on the drums, and you're not, and that's clear in the mix, and you see Ringo like peering off stage right. He keeps looking like, and he's not looking at Paul McCartney. He's looking over at the guy in the shadows playing.
The guy who's really playing the drums.
Yeah. And
it's about time they had a second set of drums. That'll weed out all the pussy bands that can only afford one set of drums.
Playing two drummers playing on stage is an incredible, very dynamic show. Not so last night. That wasn't happening. None of the stuff you usually hear with two drummers was going on. It's basically Ringo was the puppet up front. But yeah, if you
Conspiracy.
can't, there's still time. You might be able to catch it. It is kind of funny because you probably wouldn't notice it. But watching him crane his neck like way over to the side of the stage, that was kind of a tip off too. All that's
great.
All the talk of getting the Beatles back together.
He can still turn his neck. That's something.
What else? Oh, good news. I don't have to be a snowbird anymore because it is already summer in Alaska.
I know.
It is. It's been like 40 degrees. Almost. It was 50 degrees. The middle of the afternoon a couple days ago. It's been that way for it's been super warm for like 2 weeks. All the snow is melting. The roads are clear.
It's crazy. I feel like a jackass.
Yeah, you missed it.
As
soon as you get back, it's going to be awful again, Becker.
No, I'm good with it.
No, that's fine. That's what Becker wants. When he comes back and then everyone goes back into the bar because they're done.
I work indoors. I work indoors. 40 degrees doesn't make me all happy. I goes, thank God I'm not there. That'd be miserable.
I could handle this winter if it stayed 40 degrees, but apparently it's a sign that the world is ending.
Well, everywhere else is kind of fucked. Not Southern California.
I know they keep doing that. This is my biggest argument now. They keep doing like Atlanta this morning is colder than Anchorage, Alaska. And I go, yeah, I get it. But when we're colder than Atlanta, you don't fucking mention a thing.
But I hear Atlanta, but then I hear like weirder ones like Albuquerque, and you're like, what? Who cares what the temperature is in Albuquerque?
Well, they're saying the desert, but it gets fucking cold in the high desert anyway. I mean, that's really not the headline that they want it to be.
I went to Bisbee for Thanksgiving once, and it was 3 degrees colder in Bisbee than it was in Anchorage. So.
Yeah. Well, we just had a bunch of people from out of town all together for my mom's 80th birthday, so there was a lot of talk of weather. Kind of a big night for us because it was a full-on family event, and there was no booze. And I think that's the first time that's ever happened. Usually there's something. It was at a senior community center where we had the get-together. It was from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and there were 2 rules: no alcohol and no dancing.
Wow. I think
Does you want conga lines count?
If there's no alcohol, clearly there'll be no dancing. Come on, we're all white.
You're at the remake of Footloose.
Well, it must have been a problem if they have a rule about it, Greg.
Oh yeah, it was.
Most of these people can't remember without booze.
It was quite an event.
Oh, that's cool. Did you bring a flask?
No, I didn't. I tried to just go straight up Amish.
Straight edge
Amish. Yeah. I mean, I'm 47.
Don't wear black to an 80th birthday. That's rude.
Well, you know what happened was I had a suit in storage that I was going to bring down, and it was a suit that I got when my sister passed away in 2001, and I bought a suit for that, but I called it my Marion and Burying suit. Haven't been to any marriages, but I've been to a lot of burials since then, and I was talking to my brother and sister-in-law, and I go, yeah, I got my Marion and Burying suit. I'm going to take that down to Southern California. I'll wear that. And my sister-in-law just was like shaking her head. Goes, no, you're not. You're not taking a Marion and Burying suit to your mom's 80th birthday party. There's no, and I didn't even think about it. But yeah, it's pretty
It's a
bad.
bad omen.
Bad form. Just bad form. I mean, the only time I've ever slipped it on was when we also carried a coffin. So it's probably not a good idea.
Did I ever tell you when I first moved to Alaska? I'd been there for probably 3-4 years, but I pretty much wear Hawaiian shirts at the bar.
Yeah.
And I had a tuxedo from California. I bought a tuxedo so you could go to award shows. So that's all I really owned. And I never needed anything else. And then all of a sudden there was a sudden death. It was on a Saturday, and they go, well, the funeral's on Monday morning. And of course I'm going, well, all right. I'm going into it, and I realize all I have is a tuxedo or Hawaiian shirt. You can't wear a Hawaiian shirt to a funeral, and a tuxedo looks like you're happy they died.
Yeah. Unless it was Rip Taylor. You could probably get away with it in Rip Taylor because you would have, you'd put some confetti in the pocket or something, and then he'd want it that way. But yeah,
confetti's always funny. It is. I should do that down here. Because just wearing shorts and a T-shirt, just whip confetti out of my pocket, throw it like, you're the millionth customer. Guy at the chicken hut. It's like, what? El Polo, homo, I don't know. So Pro Bowl was last night too. Everyone's so hooked on the Grammys, they forget that you can bet on the Pro Bowl.
Do either of you know about how they picked the teams this year?
They had 2 guys pick them. They had
like a fantasy
Sanders, Sanders and Rice.
But it was like a fantasy football picks, right? Like you'd pick someone for kickball against, you'd have one guy pick and another guy pick until all of a sudden the team was made. I think that's genius.
Yep. No, it's long overdue. Remember when guys were like, I'm not going to go. I got shit to do. I have a cruise.
Yeah.
So this has been brilliant. But the thing is the guy I bet down here, Steve, he's the guy who takes care of my place.
Yeah.
He's from Miami originally, So they're not in the playoffs. And so he's been betting me the whole time. So I'm up the whole time. I let him pick everybody he wants, and he's been losing all year long. So last night he goes, hey, I'll take Sanders for a 6-pack of Pilsen. I go, all right, you got it. So today I fucking look. It was brilliant. He lost. So he's $100 down and a 6-pack of beer.
So I'm reading about it now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they won with like a 2-point conversion at the end.
Yep.
And did they just stop playing defense at the end? Because isn't that what usually happens during the Pro Bowl?
It was a 6-pack conversion. That's what I'm calling it.
What's your question, John?
Defense is usually like a secondary. Like nobody plays defense during the Pro Bowl, right?
Well, no, all these guys are going to play, but it's not like for season or anything.
So Becker won this bet based on a last minute 2-point conversion.
That is correct, but that's the best way to win. I won by 1 point last seconds. Sorry about that, Steve. You're still a loser.
I'm pretty sure that the players on either team were not really aware of Becker's bet.
I beg to differ. Everybody is aware.
Well, I immediately called Def Punk and told them to call see if they couldn't get the Pro Bowl to go my way. And it did. The Super Bowl is coming up. We're going to this little bar. And I told you last time we went there, we made our own board because they had no idea what they're doing. They have no idea.
Like a board that you pick squares.
Squares. Yeah, squares. So I'm taking money from all these people, strangers. I'm taking money like hand over fist. Everybody's like making a joke. Who is this guy? We don't even know him. And I'm like, whatever. They were all worried I was going to take off before the game was over. But so this time I'm bringing in pre-made boards and I'm going to make a killing. Because last time we added an extra square to each board. They had no idea what that was.
Oh, you know what you should do? You should
$100.
You should have 10 different boards all stacked up. And then you just change the numbers to where it ends up where you end up the winner.
I'm pulling every scam in the book this year.
Carbon paper between each sheet and just go press real hard. Yeah, press real hard. And then you just kind of check it out and see which one you get the most on, and then that's the one you pull out at the end. It's a card trick, Becker. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing a card trick. I'm having people pull the numbers and they hand it to me and I read them off, but I'm going to just fake them. I'll just pick it up. They hand me the folded number. I open it. Oh, 6. Right. 12. Sure. No, there's no 12 in squares. That's the reason.
We've got a small train trip, Amtrak, down to Bisbee on Wednesday, and then
that is fantastic.
We'll be down in Bisbee for the Super Bowl. We'll have the chicken drop as well as the squares, which Becker, you got to send me your numbers to put
yes
down.
I do.
I think they're
yeah.
I think he's gonna have $1 board and probably a $5 board.
I fucked up on the death pool.
Oh, that started already? Oh, that's right, it started this month.
Yeah, I went on to do it. And then Joby, I didn't know you had to join. I go, I'm already joined. I go on, I have to join. So I send him the join email and then he sends it back. You have an hour to do it. And I get that the next day because he sent that to Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I was sending him. So I was checking my Yahoo messages going, let me join. So midnight passed. And so I died in the death pool first.
You're the first one. Well, that's how they get those big purses. You're talking about Doug Stanhope's celebrity death pool.
Yes.
You know what? I think Joby's going to set up a mid-season entry to where you
I'm in.
Yeah, or they were going to do something like quarterly. I don't know, but if you're interested, check out Celebrity Death Pool. And I mean, those guys, they love it. It's a lot of fun. I'm more
It's
like
a
you.
blast.
Becker.
I love it.
I forget. I'm always texting Doug or Joby whenever I hear of a death. And I hit them up real quick. I know you've been doing that forever with Doug.
Doug and I used to that was our favorite game, was we'd see somebody died, like the space shuttle would blow up,
Yep.
or fucking, whatever. When Princess died, he was calling me when I was calling him, and both their fucking caller IDs lit up. And we go, click, and we open it. We go, Princess Di's dead.
You're both like Cub reporters trying to outscoop each other.
Exactly. That's what it was like. Now now they got apps that will tell you when a celebrity dies.
Yeah.
The fuck world we living in.
Well, one that we watch the deaths of celebrities for sport. Clearly.
Yeah. Fuck that. I understand if you're in real estate or something, but just rooting for celebrities to die, that's wrong.
Real estate.
How about Justin Bieber's little meltdown? He hasn't had a license in 6 months.
Yeah, they just
Who
found
rents a Ferrari to somebody without a license? That's what I want to know.
someone who has a black Amex.
Can't he afford somebody to drive for him?
You know, this is
not with a model in the car. Who sits bitch with a girl in the front?
If this thing doesn't smell of publicists, I don't know what does. But I'm cynical as fuck anyway. But honestly, for him to be drunk, I'm doing air quotes. If him to be drunk and drag racing a rented Ferrari in the morning with no license in the morning, it's screaming to get in the headlines. It is absolutely screaming. And I just was talking to my cousin I met at the 80th birthday party. He works for a company named Vivo. Vivo is like YouTube for music videos. Yeah,
right.
And it's a business model that actually pays the artist as well as the hosting company makes a little money, and then Vivo makes a little money. So I was asking him, I go, so like when Bieber does something like this stunt where he gets pulled over and all, and he goes to jail, and he's like, nah, Bieber's pretty strong, like day in, day out, his numbers are pretty steady. But he said that the numbers that go through the roof right now, because that's what I thought. It's like when Bieber gets caught doing something, or he pisses in a bucket, or he shoves someone, I thought it spiked. And he goes, no, he is so popular that it is always just, it's like a spike that keeps straight across. It's like way up there. But he said that the one that spikes and that is really doing hot right now is Miley Cyrus. Anytime she does anything, it just, the numbers just go right through the roof. And
I agree with her.
That is an income stream that is six figures at the least for someone on that level, like way up there, because that money is just churning in. And that guy Psy, what did he make? Like $6 million for that?
Yeah, he did.
That Gundam style.
Did you see
in 1 year?
Yeah. Did you see how much he'd make with the equivalent over in South Korea?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, their version of YouTube, he would have made about $102,000 with all those hits.
Wow.
They don't have the same pay scale we do.
No, not at all. Yeah, I think he made like $6 million in YouTube that 1 year, but that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, and he still thinks it's real. So next time you go to Reno, look him up. He'll be in a Celine Dion cover band.
Yeah, he's doing pistachios now, so he's keeping it real, dude.
Have you seen how much pistachios are now? I went to Costco before we left. $22 for a bag of pistachios.
How many pounds? Like 2 pounds?
It's like
maybe 2 pounds.
Well,
it's a bag. I've always been like $10.
Or is it for one big pistachio?
Do you guys think Bieber should be deported? I've seen a lot of people outraged. I assume they're just grown men who live in basement apartments that are just outraged about Bieber's behavior, and he needs to be deported.
Well, because he's a Canadian national.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what the laws are for a Canadian national going back to Canada, but I know that if you have a DUI and you try to go into Canada, they can block you from entering.
Yeah.
But they don't kick him out of being Canadian, right?
People don't want him to be able to work in the U.S. anymore because he is endangering U.S. citizens with his wild behavior.
Yeah, but come on. In the world we live in, do you think a guy who has a worth a couple $100 million, do you really think they're going to keep him out of the country?
I wish Bieber would hit me with his Ferrari while he was drunk. I'd be set for life.
I'm pretty sure the gal in the car with him was a stunt driver that they hired. Just to make sure, like nothing. He's got a 5-point harness on and a.
Those are those drivers at Ferraris where they have pedals on both sides.
It's what
is this student driver on the back of that Ferrari?
It was actually the last time it was used was when BJ and the Bear was filming an episode, and they had the Bear driving the Ferrari around LA. Is that too old a reference? BJ and the Bear?
That's great.
couldn't think of another chimp vehicle. I could have done a Clyde from Any Which Way You Can.
Yeah, see, that's another one. Bobby Barasini.
Bobby Barasini
was the one who made the news first for animal abuse in the early 80s because they caught him backstage from his orangutan show, who actually trained the orangutans for that movie.
Yeah.
And he was beating them with canes, and they had video of it.
You can see it on
back
YouTube.
when people had VHS.
It's on YouTube. And that was at the Tropicana, and I'll tell you why I know it was at the Tropicana. One of them fucking chimps about strangled me and knocked me out because I was walking through the lobby, and they had a little like photo op.
Walking through the lobby with a bunch of souvenir bamboo canes.
No. No, he didn't lash out. This was before all that. It was in the mid 90s. I was down there and they were promoting the show. The orangutan was in the lobby and there was a display that it was at. You would sit down and then Bobby would bring the chimp or the orangutan up behind you, and when I sat down, they're full muscle, right? He comes up, he's like leaning up against me, and I hear the guy go like, "Don't move, don't make any," and I'm like, I don't want to do this now. I can't get out of it now. He's saying this, but he's wrapping the arms of the ape around my neck so we can take the picture, and I'm feeling like I've just been seatbelted into the fucking space shuttle, right? And then this thing, for some reason, I don't know what it was. We could probably have a whole hour discussion on what he felt was attractive about me, but he pulled me into him like it was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. And it was a thing to where I don't think he had a bamboo cane around. It was a thing where I could hear the urgency in his voice, where he yelled at the other person sternly but not loud to grab the other arm and to like pull me out, kind of thing. Now, and I still
nothing to worry about. He's chosen you to be his mate.
Exactly.
It's gonna be fine.
And it was like slip out. I still had to pay for the photo. Shouldn't that just
really? You're lucky because you could be doing 3 shows in Vegas right now.
We're gonna keep you backstage. He refused to perform without his mate here.
He's just dragging my limp body. He's scooting across the sawdust floor on the ball, but I'm dragging behind him the whole way.
The orangutan goes on stage, does his show, comes backstage, takes off his bow tie, and just wraps his arms around you.
Yes.
That's what he needs.
I'm that dirty rag doll in the corner that he finds comforting every time he gets off stage from being beaten with the bamboo cane.
Frank Sinatra had the same thing. He had a girl backstage take a couple belts of scotch and wrap his giant forearms around her neck.
Hey, you know what we forgot? We forgot about the oldest known cancer was caused by dogs having sex. It was the Alaskan Malamute.
Really? Or are you just picking a name? I thought
no, it's the Alaskan Malamute is the modern day version of the dog that this had started with.
Really?
11,000 years ago. And it ended up Columbus took dogs then and traveled them to other places to spread the disease. And that's what was the first cancer. So I think STDs started in Alaska. AIDS in Haiti, STDs in Alaska.
Well, they didn't travel too far because we still got a bunch of them here.
I think it just keeps going around the globe.
Yeah.
It's like one of those airline maps you've seen, like one of those in-flight magazines. It's just like lines coming from Alaska to all the different states and countries.
It's like solid red in Alaska.
Yeah.
So many times. It's Gibraltar, Raleigh.
It's a hub for gonorrhea.
You're getting warmer. Okay, it burns like razor blades. Yeah, you're there.
You're in Anchorage.
All right. Well, this has been another fantastic episode of Near the Wild. This is John Norris from Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm Mat Becker. I'm in Costa Rica, where the monkeys are screaming right now.
And I'm Greg Chaille in Fullerton, California, home of the electric guitar.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Mat Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Mat Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.
Well, hello there then. Welcome to another episode of Near the Wild.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Mat Becker. All right.
Who's
I-
this?
Start over.
Only give the fans the gold.